Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this brand new day. Sort of my apologies for the first 10-15 seconds of yesterday's vlog. I went a bit crazy with the motion of my stuff. I'm really learning how to do things with HitFilm Express, and one of the things that's been a big difference between myself, I've noticed, and a lot of other people might figure out how to do something and then say, hey, how can I monetize this? And then stretch it out and then use it to help draw people in. I go, hey, look at the weird stuff I can do. And then I show it off to people and then move on to the next thing. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, welcome. Good morning. It is Wednesday? Yeah, it must be Wednesday. Oh boy, yesterday was a day. Because of a phone call I made. I have to talk about this with my therapist tomorrow, so I don't want to get too heavy into it. So first though, I have marks on my hand. How about that? That's from my little battery thing pressing on my palm. But for the weather report, it is getting light outside. It is still clear. It's supposed to be snowing soon. We have an Arctic blast. It's very cold, and so it's supposed to be snowing. Will it? Who knows? Thumbs up. Weather report. Also, real quick, Kitty's in the window. She, of course, transfers herself and sleeps in different places all the time. Thumbs up for that. And my little hamster here is turning into an absolute ghost. Before I go to bed, I might see him running around a little bit before I go to bed. When I wake up, I might see him running around a little bit. Past that, he's asleep. So he's a ghost. But that's okay. I know he's alive. I see him running around. I picked him up this morning. I picked him up last night. So he's in good shape. Very good deal. Okay, let's see if I can remember what I was talking about. No, I've forgotten it entirely. So sorry about that. I'm going to have to talk about other things now. Things that I had originally planned to talk about. That one thing that I had suddenly thought of that I've forgotten about entirely was something that I had just thought about. Oh, and as a quick pop-up, in comments, Potatotron mentioned that my memory seems to be okay. And I complain about it a lot. But I mentioned in comments, and Potatotron had said in the comment, maybe it's a short-term memory issue. It's a short-term memory issue. I have problems with short-term memory. When you have memory, short-term memory is just that. It fades quickly. You need to move short-term memory into medium-term memory. Medium-term memory is where your body decides if it's going to go into long-term or just be discarded. That's a sort of mediation process. What makes it through that is then stored into long-term. And I am okay with long-term. I'm good with that. It's short-term. Nice whistle. Short-term stuff gets into the medial point where it does the processing and then it never makes it out of that. I can't say never. I mean, it does. But with most people, it might be around 50%. I'm around 30% makes it into long-term. So it's irritating that fashion. Once it's in long-term memory, I'm good. It's the process of getting it there that is painful. So thumbs up for that. I do have a couple things written down on my list over here, and I just wanted to talk about a few things. None of them really important. It's just, I'm a talker. I need to talk. I have been that way my whole life. And not talking, like after the death of my wife and before I started vlogging, I was not doing well. Once I started to vlog, to talk, and to get this stuff out of my head, I started doing much better to the point that I could actually get therapy. So I'm a talker and it's good to talk. So on my topics list, one of the things is it's bad on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of those prank videos that are, thankfully, that was a trend that is kind of fading, but it's still present. People do pranks But the problem is 95% of most of those pranks are fake. You're just doing a bit, a sketch, and presenting it as real to your audience. Unfortunately, a lot of those prank channels have fairly young, fairly naive audiences. One of these things, and you probably heard about this on the news, there was this one YouTuber who believed that pranks were real. And he got his friend and, well, couple, to do a prank on somebody that wasn't in on it, because they believed the prank channels. And so he and a friend got some butcher knives and ran at some people screaming how they wanted their money and stuff. Because in the pranks, that happens, and then you just say, hey, it's just a prank, bro. Everybody has a laugh, and then, the video's over because it's fine. Real life doesn't work that way. These people ran at a person with butcher knives. And this person just took out a weapon and bam, 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 bam. And now the kid's dead. 20 years old, gone. I mean, we're all going to die. We're all going to die no matter what. And our time on this planet, our time on this world, our time in this reality is short. Don't make it shorter. Oh my gosh, our lives are just the blink of an eye. Don't make them any shorter than you have to. And there's another person gone for nothing. If you remember, this one person who he and his girlfriend wanted to do a YouTube video thing, and he held up a Bible, and his girlfriend fired a Desert Eagle at him. It went right through the bullet that went right through the Bible like it wasn't even there, and he's gone. Please, people, the world is not a safe place. It's incredibly dangerous. Don't make it any more dangerous than you have to. We forget, living in civilization, that the world, the universe, is dangerous. That's why I have to laugh along with a bunch of these debunking things when there's if you want to be religious, be religious. If you want to be spiritual, be spiritual. If you have beliefs, have your beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that. But I can't even remember where I was going with that one, so we're going to let it go, because it was just, people are, our world is dangerous. That's where it is. Our world is dangerous, and we forget. So don't tempt fate more than you have to. Our world is dangerous. We're here for a short period of time. If you have religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs, please have them. Like I said, I can't even remember where I was going with that one. It's that kind of day. I forget things mid-speech because of my short-term memory issues, which I mentioned. But still, life is dangerous, and we forget that it is dangerous. So, oh yes, I remember now where I was going with that. Where people talk about how finely tuned the universe is for life. 99.99999999999999999% of the universe will kill us instantly, even on the surface of this planet. 50, 60, 70% of it, you will die pretty quick. Our universe is not fine-tuned for anything. If it was, it wouldn't kill us in 99 stretch those nines out percent of the places you can go. Our world wouldn't wipe us out. Our planet and our universe is not fine-tuned for anything. So thumbs up for that. But let's continue onward. Like this one, I want to talk about how one of the things I like to pass on music, and in movies and stuff. I talked about this with my therapist, where I've mentioned how older people like get pissed and such, and I can understand why. Not all, but some, through loss of cultural relevance. All those things that you were big when you were a kid are now, when you're older, largely forgotten or made fun of or mined for nostalgia by corporations. Your cultural relevance is gone, and that's painful. I like to pass on older stuff for a different reason. I don't really care about the cultural relevance. That's not why I like people to watch older stuff and listen to older stuff. I like people to listen to, watch, play, read older stuff because that's just some good stuff that doesn't deserve to just be forgotten. It's just good stuff. Sure, the technical skill isn't there because that was some of it really back in the beginning when they were pioneering techniques for making things the way they are now. But there's movies like even the Orson Welles, Citizen Kane, I couldn't remember what it was for a moment. Even that is worth watching, not for any other reason than it's just a good movie. Like Wizard of Oz from 1939. Don't care about the cultural relevance. None of that is important. It's just a good movie that deserves to be watched because it's good. Who cares if it's old? Who cares if it came out 50 years before I was even born? It's not even my generation. It has no cultural relevance to me. I just don't want these things to be forgotten because they're actually good and worth watching. And books from that age, there's stuff that's worth reading. Music is worth listening to. I don't care again about the cultural relevance. I don't want to pass it on because, then my past lives on. I just don't want good stuff to be lost and forgotten. So please, if you find something that's old, don't just immediately cast it out because it's old. I don't care about the nostalgia part. I don't like nostalgia. It's just that something is good, really, it doesn't deserve to be forgotten. And of course, finally, Butthole Surfers, the group. They're kind of still around, but I actually mentioned this with the lead-in. I passed some of my music choices on to Russian Timing because I like to share stuff. Some of it was earlier Butthole Surfers music. They did some weird stuff in their earlier music. One song that I had passed on that he listened to, because I mentioned how they used weird stuff that normally you would say, this is terrible, but it works for the song, and it makes the song objectively better. One of the songs that he listened to, there's a point where the guy just goes, and spits. And the song is objectively better because of that. If you took that out, the song would suffer. It would not be as good as it is. There's another song they do where one of the instruments is a guy getting violently sick into a bucket. Not a sound that you would normally think of as good, a guy puking into a bucket. In the context of the song, as a musical instrument, the song would be objectively worse if you took out the guy puking into a bucket. It's amazing, I think. Which also ties into the way that I enjoy and don't enjoy music. I enjoy rougher stuff. Product is just that, product. I've mentioned before how product it slides into one ear and then out the other, leaves nothing behind so that you're primed for the next song. That's unfortunately what a lot of modern music is. It's just been that way since forever. It's just more refined now. They've tried to do that, make product, and product just goes and then makes no room, just makes room for the next song. I like songs and music that's got rough edges, that as it goes in your ear, it grinds its way through to the other side and leaves holes and runnels and marks so you think about it. That rough stuff, it doesn't just slide in and out and leave room. Like the group, I like the group, even though they haven't been around for like 40 years. Like back in the 80s, I got the album Oh Blessed Freak Show by the Nip Drivers, with songs like Mean Teen Queen. This stuff is rough. It is rough, and in some cases, it's done intentionally rough. Like not singing well, on purpose, not playing well, on purpose. And for the context of the song, they work. And I would so much rather listen to that, because as it grinds its way through, you got something to think about instead of just and just a void to be filled with another song. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now as best I can. I have very good peripheral vision, so I sometimes can read an entire page just by looking at the center of it. And if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibromyalgia, ADHD, mourning, and more, I'm sometimes lucky I can remember what day of the week it is, and I forget that quite a bit. I love that movement. I don't know why. It's like a bird. Well, anyway. So let me call my Chrome. We have Araced Aram. More desire, thumbs up and thank you. Ratty Amber, thumbs up. Girod's brother, thumbs up. Jonathan Becquerel, Becerril, thumbs up. Confused Owl 29, good to see you in the comments. Melissa R, good to see you as well. J Rosales 100, thumbs up. King Dragon 13, greatly appreciated. Documents with a K, greatly appreciated. Russian Timing, good to see you in the comments, my friend. Andreas Oikonamu, I sure hope I'm close. And Anna Cronin, greatly appreciated. Unfortunately, Jacob, well, I'm very sorry, but I think it's probably fortunate. Butter my croissant. Boy, there are so many ways to make that dirty, but thank you very much. Ricky Bettini, thank you very, very much. Christopher Thomas, thank you. JUUSONIEMINEN, thumbs up and thank you very much. Colin Risenauer, thumbs up. Potatotron, thumbs up. Good to see you, my friend. Scrabbow, greatly appreciated. Apollo R6, thumbs up. And hey, Scotland for the win. And then Adrian Bryan, thumbs up. Just JG, greatly appreciated. Tom, thumbs up. And last but not least, Cyber Rash 3000. That would be a heck of a rash to have a Cyber Rash 3000. Thumbs up. Thank you all each so much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is greatly, greatly appreciated. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out financially without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wish list link as well, with things like cat food, hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. I have so much saliva, I'm just amazed. I'm probably spitting like a fountain here. I am so sorry. There are some days I just salivate around my dentures because they are just gigantic chunks of plastic in my mouth, and you salivate around objects. Samurai used to fool their bodies by popping pebbles in their mouths so they wouldn't get thirsty. Salivate around the pebbles, swallow your saliva, fool your body into thinking you're drinking. That's what's happening here. Mass saliva. Thumbs up. And of course, the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. It is ready, not eager, but ready to cast that scorn upon those it finds disappointing. Its mockery is severe. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Good golly, Miss Molly. And please, be as safe as you can, be as creative as you can. It is important in these hard times. So, excuse me. I have this video here. I have another video to edit and render, second half of my Fallout New Vegas video. Thumbs up for that. So, stay in unless you have to go out. If you have to go out, please wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, practice your social distancing, please, please. And you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.